Silver, in the door, out the door. I'm going to explain. I'm going to show you an example of the round the customer brought in as well. I only own this particular round, but he brought in 100 of these rounds. They went out the door 45 minutes later. We're going to let you know what we paid for them. We're going to let you know what we sold them for. Going to let you know the story behind the one who bought them. He's very happy. He came in at the right time, my friends. Help me out with the thumbs up. Share the video out. We're trying to get to 7,000 subscribers. We're about 89 subscribers away as of the recording of this video. Thank you all so much. We got the Pinbacks deal of the week we're going to talk about as well. A little bit more to cover. Let's get into it right now. Silver in and out the door. I'm going to show you around in 1 second. This guy came in with 100 of these rounds. Route 66 rounds. Very, very nice rounds. I own one. I don't own a bunch of these. This is only one I have. I'm glad I had this in my safe at home. There you go, my friends. That's what it looks like as the states that Route 66 travels through, of course. Pretty nice looking round. The ones he brought in were in BU shape. This one's not in BU shape. This one's got a little bit of toning on it. Guy just wanted to offload some rounds. He says he's got too many, and he really didn't care for the Route 66 ones. And he says, you know, so he says, what's the best you can do for these? Well, these normally do pretty well in the shop, for the most part. So I'm looking on eBay. And, you know, he says, well, I saw one go on eBay for 65 bucks. I said, well, yeah, that's way too much. I'm not paying nowhere near that. I said, he said, but the rest ones are selling about 40. I said, I can't even pay 40. I said, it's going to be below spot. I said, it's going to be just below. I said, but I'm going to give you a little bit better than I normally would. I says, this is what I'm going to do for you. I says, if you want to sell them all, I'll give you 37 bucks a round, and we can pay you cash. We can give you a check. And just whatever you want, I said. You know, we can do half and half. He says, check is fine. You know, he says, I'm going to go deposit the money in the bank. He says, I'm just going to get some other silver at a later date. I'm waiting for a dip. Okay, fine. You know, I'm not here to wait for a dip. I'm still stacking as much as I can. We've been through that already on other videos. So he just wanted to get rid of them. So here's that round again. 66. And I'm processing them. I got them in the computer system. The crew's having their lunch. The owner bought pizza for everybody. I don't like the type of pizza. I'm not going to even name the restaurant, so I don't give my location out. I'm not going to name the sauce. A little too spicy for me, so I got you know, some digestive problems. But that's besides the point. They don't agree with me, so I'll leave it as that. So while they were having lunch, another guy comes in, and he says, Chris, I've not seen you for a while. I didn't remember his first name, but his first name's Matt. And so we got talking. He's looking around. So what can I help you out, man? Oh, I'm looking around. He says, he says, you know about my business? I said, yeah, he says, I'm doing a get together in Oklahoma. And he says, I'm looking for about 30 rounds. Specifically something, you know, that people will like, you know, maybe a little bit vintage, you know, history. And I said, where are you going? He said, I'm going to Oklahoma in September to do some sales and stuff like that for his business. And I'm not going to say what the business is, but, you know, so we can protect his ID as well. And I says, we're in Oklahoma. He said, well, Oklahoma is city right off of Route 66. I said, you gotta be kidding me. He says, no, why do you say it like that for? He says, well, I says, so look what I just got in. I showed him these. He says, so I showed him a tube of these. He says, how many you got? I says, well, so they just came in about 45 minutes ago. I said, they're already in the system. I said, silver's at 38.10 in the futures. I says, I'll do them for 39.10, $1 over if you want to buy them all. So I really don't need all of them. I really just need 30 pieces. These are the cool looking rounds. I says, wow, I says, If you want to go a little bit, less on them, I said I'm going to have to put up the price a little bit. Now, we paid 37 bucks. Okay, we paid 37 bucks for these. I tried to help the other guy out, and I said, like I said, they moved pretty fast. But I said, if you want them all, I says, I'll give you a break. I said, 39 bucks out the door. They're all yours. He says, you know what? I'm gonna give 30 away of these there. He says, yeah, I'll do that deal. 39 bucks a piece. He says, you're just all over spot. That's fine. It's a deal. I said, that's gonna be your best deal. I said, they just came in. I said, they're cool looking rounds. I says, and they weren't gonna last very too long. I mean, what amazing time for him to come in. Guys sold them 45 minutes prior. I had them out the door. Every single one back out the door 45, 50 minutes later or so. He says, this is the best round I could come. I said, you came at the right time. I said, you came in tomorrow, you came in the next day, we probably been out of these. I said, the word would have got out on these, that we had these back in stock. You know, when we do get these in stock, and we do get a number of them in stock, like 20, then, most people come in, buy 2 or 3, add some to their stacks, add some to their collections, and they're gone again. Guy says, I like these. He says, even though I'm giving 30 away of these away, I like these. I'm gonna keep the rest for myself. Absolutely. BU shape. They were brilliant circulated, my friends. That's how you move stuff. I mean, it's a crazy story, but it's sometimes you see stuff happens just like it's just meant to be, I guess. So he's happy. The shop made some money. Okay, but we made $2 around. All right, yeah, we made $400 off for the shop. The owner's happy, moving stuff, getting stuff in, and it's just the right timing at the right time of day. Had them processed already. They were sitting on my desk, and I'm gonna go grab a tube off my desk and show them. I said, I got 4 more tubes out back. He says, I'll take them all. So that's what happened with that. Check out channel sponsor Pinbacks, my friends, for all your silver, gold, and platinum needs. Please check their 1921 Morgan silver dollars out on sale right now on a deal. $32.80 per coin. You must buy 20 or more. They have them in stock. I'll warn you again, you're not going to find a better price. All right, you're not going to find a better price than VF grade, very good grade. I think they have them labeled very good. You're going to be hard pressed to find a better price than that. I'm trying. All right, I am really trying, because I'm after the Morgans right now. I'm after the Commandant piece dollars as well. Good luck. I mean, trying to get them with free shipping, you're going to pay $34, $35 each. I'm not paying that much. I wish I had the money to really call up Michael, call up Brian and say, give me one of these tubes. And, here's my account information. I just don't have it, all right? I just don't have that assets right now to get that deal. I mean, it's a good deal. If you're able to do it, my friends, hop on that deal. Let them know that Coin Shop Chris sent you. What else is going on at the shop? A lot of 90% going out the door. That is what we're normally focusing on today, it looks like. A lot of 90 going out the door. Not a lot of buybacks today. It's funny, you guess there was a lot of buybacks for us. We gained a little bit more going out the door today. Okay? I mean, it's a hit or miss. You never know you can't compare 2 days. All right? You just cannot compare 2 days back to back to back. It's nearly impossible to say what's going to happen the next day. There's some new people coming in, asking questions. This is good. We got a little bit of time for that today. It was a little bit slower. That's how you got to do it. You don't try to rush people to get silver, gold, or platinum. People are confused. And a lot of people came into this field not knowing a heck a lot. Seeing something maybe here on YouTube and saying silver and gold will make you ultra rich, and to come find out that's not the truth. Been warning against that for a while now. Look, I'll say it again. Some people will fire back at me. That's fine. But name me a time silver and gold made anybody rich. I mean, unless you had a lot of it and you wrote it, you bought it for, you got it for face value in 1980 and you sold it all in 1980. Yeah, $50. Are you rich? No. In today's money, no, you're not. Silver and gold is supposed to keep up with inflation. Silver and gold are for protection of your currency, which is dying every single day. Every single day, stuff's going up in price. All right, every single day. I just went to Winn-Dixie before I came home. Celery was on sale. Buy one, get one free. $2.99 a stalk. So, all right, so I got two. All right, I had $1.98 in points. Okay, yeah, I did pretty good with the celery, so I paid $1.03 out of $1.01 out of pocket. $1.01. So what I did, I gave the girl $1.25 in quarters, and I said I would like to get the silver change back in nickels. Okay, fine. So that's how I'm saving my nickels, my friends. A little bit at a time. Yeah, I only got 4 nickels today, but they were nothing special. I threw them in the can. Still copper. Still nickel. Throw 4 more in the can. That's how we pull from the circulation. Don't have to go to the bank and get $2 face every single time, or get $8 face or $10 face. Get it in your change coming back to you. It's not much anyways. If you can afford to do something like that, do it. Save your nickels. Save your pennies. Especially your copper pennies. Pennies I got back today were all 2025s. They're junk. But it's also the last year they're going to be minting them. They might be something to hang on to, the 2025s. Don't know yet. Not seen that yet. So yeah, it's last year of the penny. So we got to keep that in mind as well. I mean, it's not too much more to talk about because it's been a slow day at the shop. It's been, yesterday was a little bit busier for buybacks. I'm still stacking. I'll warn again. Somebody said they got scammed on eBay. Well, I don't know exactly when that happened, but if that was recently, email me. I will help you to resolve it. I'll tell you the steps to take. But if it's more than 30 days ago, I can't do nothing for you. I just can't do nothing for you there. Yes, you got to be careful on eBay when you're buying silver. I don't buy gold anyways. I wouldn't be buying gold off of eBay unless I know it was a reputable dealer for one. I wouldn't do a private sale like that off of eBay. If you want gold, you better go to your local coin shop for one. You better stay with online dealers like channel sponsor Pinbacks for two. Private sales on gold, run the other way. Run the other way unless a reputable dealer on eBay. That's all I can tell you there. Too much of a risk. Yes, still you got the same platform. Money back guaranteed. But, when you're dealing with small fractions, an ounce here for silver is a little bit easier to, get your money back. It's a pain, all right? And one of my moderators just went through that. He bought 2 rolls of silver quarters. The guy printed the shipping label. Never shipped them. Had to wait about a week for eBay to say, okay, they're supposed to be here by this date. Contact eBay. Didn't ship them. Gives them another week or so for eBay to contact the seller. Seller never responded. eBay gave the money back. So it's almost a 2-week process in that time frame alone. It can take up to 2 weeks on that time frame. We all know what roll of silver quarters are going for right now. That's a lot of money to have it on hold. Yes, he got his money back. Okay, he got his money back. But it was tied up for 2 weeks. And the seller had 100% feedback. Go figure. Hopefully the seller is okay. Hopefully the seller's not being honest. Hopefully, seller's still alive, I guess, and is the seller trying to scam people now? That happens sometimes, my friends. You gotta be vigilant about everything we do. If you have questions for me about silver, gold, or platinum, reach out to me. I'm here to help you. My email's in every single description of every single video. Help me out with the like. Share the video out. Make sure you're subscribed. I'll give you a little bit of hint. You're going to want to be subscribed, because something's coming, one of the videos on Saturday. That's all I'm going to say for now. I'll give you a little bit more information on that. You want to be subscribed now. Until the next video, Coin Shop Chris is out. We will catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.